One tiny piece of candy convinced the world it had discovered the secret to success. In a quiet room at Stanford University, a 4-year-old faced a choice that looked almost laughably simple. Eat one marshmallow now, or wait 15 minutes and earn 2 instead, while a hidden camera captured every second. Some children gave in almost instantly, while others fought an invisible battle that seemed impossible for someone so young. But decades later, scientists uncovered a truth that turned this famous experiment upside down, because the marshmallow was never the real test.
The man behind the experiment was psychologist Walter Mischel, but he was chasing a mystery far bigger than a child's sweet tooth. He wanted to understand why some people could resist temptation, while others gave in almost instantly, and whether that difference could shape an entire lifetime. To find out, he designed a challenge so simple that almost anyone could understand it, yet so difficult that even adults struggle with it today. One marshmallow sat on a plate, a small bell waited within reach, and the child faced a choice that no one else could make for them. At first glance, it looked like an innocent game, but hidden inside that quiet room was a question that would fascinate psychologists for the next 50 years.
What happened next was both hilarious and strangely heartbreaking, because every child invented a different way to fight temptation. Some covered their eyes as if the marshmallow would disappear, while others hummed songs, talked to themselves, or slid their chairs to the other side of the room. One child carefully sniffed the marshmallow without taking a bite, while another stared at it as though it were daring them to give up. For a few, the battle lasted only seconds before they reached out and ate it, ending the experiment with one irresistible bite. To the world, these moments looked like adorable childhood behavior, but to Walter Mischel, they were clues pointing towards something much bigger than anyone imagined.
Years later, Walter Mischel returned to the children who had once sat alone with that single marshmallow, expecting to find little more than old memories. Instead, he uncovered a pattern that stunned researchers and quickly captured the world's attention. Many of the children who had waited longer were on average earning higher test scores, handling stress more effectively, and reporting healthier relationships as they grew older. Almost overnight, the marshmallow test became famous as the experiment that seemed to predict a person's future from a single childhood decision. But as the story spread across the world, one crucial question remained almost completely unnoticed, and it would eventually change everything.
The marshmallow test quickly escaped the walls of the laboratory and became a symbol of success itself. Books praised it, teachers explained it, and parents everywhere began wondering if a single childhood moment could reveal their child's entire future. The message sounded simple: master self-control today, and tomorrow would take care of itself. But the more people celebrated the experiment, the less they questioned the story behind it. And that was exactly where the real mystery was hiding. Because before believing what the marshmallow predicted, scientists first needed to ask a far more important question: who were the children taking the test? The answer revealed a detail that had been hiding in plain sight from the very beginning. Most of the children in the original experiment came from Stanford's campus preschool, where many families were professors, researchers, and other well-educated professionals. For these children, promises were usually kept, food was rarely uncertain, and tomorrow felt just as reliable as today. In that kind of world, waiting 15 minutes for a second marshmallow was not simply an act of self-control, it was a reasonable decision built on trust. So what would happen if the exact same test were given to children who had learned that waiting sometimes leads to nothing at all?
Nearly 50 years later, another team of researchers decided to put the famous experiment to the test once again. This time, they studied a much larger and far more diverse group of children, representing families from many different economic and social backgrounds. When they accounted for factors like family income, home stability, and early childhood environment, the legendary results changed dramatically. The connection between waiting for the second marshmallow and future success became much weaker than the world had been led to believe. Suddenly, one of psychology's most celebrated experiments was pointing toward an entirely different explanation, and it had almost nothing to do with willpower alone.
The greatest discovery was not about self-control, it was about trust.
A child who grows up in a stable world learns that promises are usually kept, making patience feel like a safe investment instead of a risky gamble. But a child raised in uncertainty often learns the opposite. If something good is in front of you now, waiting could mean losing it forever. The marshmallow never simply measured the strength of a child's will. It quietly reflected the experiences that had shaped their view of the world long before the experiment began. In the end, that single marshmallow did not predict the future. It revealed the invisible world that was already shaping it.
If this story changed the way you see the famous marshmallow test, you're not alone. Leave a comment below. Do you think you would have waited for the second marshmallow or taken the first one right away? If you enjoy documentaries that uncover the hidden truth behind famous experiments, make sure to like this video and subscribe to Zexa. Every week, we explore the science, psychology, and mysteries that quietly shape the way we think, decide, and live. Because our next story reveals a forgotten human instinct that modern life may have erased. And once you discover it, you may never see yourself the same way again.